Hi, do you know what exponential means? Of course you know. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, and so on it goes. So that's easy, isn't it? Maybe it's not that easy in terms of actually understanding what it means. My name is Michael Alf. I'm author and creator of the Virtual Summit Formula and host of the Discipline Disruption podcast. And that's where I bring together some of the most brilliant minds to talk about how you can thrive in today's fast-changing world. And would you agree the world is changing fast indeed? And one of these drivers are exponential technologies, and that's where the exponential comes in. Peter Diamandis is talking about it in his books, Bold and Abundance, and there's a lot talked about exponential technologies. So I thought I'll give a little bit of a flavor and give you some examples what that actually really means, so that you get a better understanding. I also recommend listening to the podcast, especially the interview and the session with Craig Rispen, a futurist from Sydney, who talks about exponential technology. So that might give you some additional insight and ideas. You might have heard about Moore's law, which goes back now a long time, maybe more than I think 2 decades it is now, which basically says the computer power doubles every 18 to 24 months. That is pretty simple and straightforward to understand, but that actually led to the situation that we have now today. So you have in your iPhone or whatever you have more computer power than the moon mission had at the time. And that's because of that doubling. And the interesting thing is that the doubling continues, which means in 18 to 24 months we have twice the power. Not just kind of an incremental, but we're actually doubling. So all of what was before is actually repeating in the next 18 to 24 months. I'd like to give you 2 stories to illustrate that whole concept, because it's really fascinating and it should make us think on a regular basis. The first one is goes back to a wise man some 1,000 years back, and there was a king, and he had a big problem, and he was looking for a solution. And so his people reached out, and they found a wise man who was able actually to help him. So he came to the palace and helped the king. The king obviously was completely happy and felt great and wanted to say thank you. So he said to that wise man, well, every wish you have, I will fulfill you, I promise that. The wise man then responded, well, I'm a humble man, so maybe what I'd like to ask you is the following. We have a chess board. So a chess board is 64 fields, and we put 1 corn of rice on the field number 1. And then we double, so field number 2 is 2. Field number 3 is 4. Field number 8 is 256. I just know that because I was a computer geek, so I had to kind of know all these 2 X's by heart, at least up to 2048 and a little bit further. And so on it goes. The king said, well, that's not a problem, I'm more than happy to do that. So they got started. And the first row is not a problem, the second row is okay, and then things are getting tricky. And the amount of rice is increasing. And just over the kind of midway through, the king recognized, well, this is actually the harvest of multiple years which I have to give away. So he thought to himself, well, that doesn't work, and obviously, so he beheaded the wise man, who then basically lost out in this case. So this is one story, maybe a little bit of a sad story, but it shows that even intelligent men and also kings actually miss the issue and the problem of exponential growth. Let me give you a second example, and this one is even more powerful. So what I like to do is that you close your eyes and you imagine yourself standing in San Diego, for example, or in California, on the beach or somewhere else. But let's go to California, San Diego, on the beach. You are in the sand, barefoot, and your toes just touch the water. It's still, so it's just still, and you look out. And you feel that because obviously your eyes are closed. So now what I like to do, you to do is take 30 linear steps, and assuming your steps are 1 meter of length. So you take those 30 steps. Yes, it's shallow, so it's not a problem. Where are you? It's not a quiz or trick question. You are 30 meters into the sea. Easy, isn't it? Now let's come back and look out again, and we'll do a second test. Again, same starting point. We stand there, we feel the water on our toes, and we feel the light breeze coming. And now, instead of doing linear steps, we are actually taking exponential steps. What that means is the second step is 2 meters, the third step is 4 meters, and then it's 8 meters, and so on. So let's do that now. And now take those steps, close the eyes, and really try to take those steps where you are. Well, obviously you're going into the water quite a bit, and assuming you can swim or you can walk on water or whatever you want. It's just like, yeah, so you're having that picture. So I'll wait a moment. So let's say you have done the 30 steps. Where are you now? Are you 100 meters in? Are you a kilometer or 100 kilometers in? Maybe you think, well, maybe it's 1,000 kilometers. Well, it's actually a lot more, and that's what really got me thinking. The 30th step means that you've circumvented the Earth. Yes, you hear right, 26 times. So it's 26 times 40,000 kilometers. So it's massive. You can do the maths, and hopefully I gave the right numbers, at least in the magnitude. They are right. You can do the maths yourself. It's just mind blowing. This really, literally, well, not literally, you can see, blew my mind, but it really made me think. And the challenge now is the 31st step is actually another 26 times, and that is the biggest challenge. So how does it matter today? Let's come back now, open your eyes again, and let's think about today's situation. One of the challenges is that a lot of people say, well, that didn't work 5 years ago. And examples are self-driving cars, translation programs, yeah, which I like Google Translate and things like that, where people said, oh, I've seen that before, it didn't work. I've seen that 3 years ago and it didn't work. The challenge of that is things are changing so quickly on a year-by-year basis that even when things didn't work perfectly well a year ago, they might be actually better than you think today. So I really encourage you to reflect on that, and from time to time think about what in my area, in my field of expertise, is developing exponentially. So I need to be mindful so that I can prepare, because the change is coming a lot faster, and you need to get ready for this. So this is why I recommend listening to the Discipline Disruption podcast, because that's exactly the topic it is about. And you can think about yourself, yeah, how to prepare yourself so that you can benefit from the digital disruption and thrive in today's fast-changing world, and also make a real impact. I thank you. I wish you a wonderful day, and see you next time here on the same place. Thank you. Bye.